Today we have Mr. Shuvam Banerjee from India, who's here to talk to us about a very exciting actual socialist, unlike the other imperialistic magazine that we don't like to name too often, Internationals. So tell me a little bit about your magazine, Internationals.
Actually, we planned 1 year ago during June, July to 2020. We planned to publish one international news and media platform with left ideological inclination and which will be strongly dedicated to strengthen the voice of the oppressed people across the globe. And it was our dream to make the name of this magazine The International, keeping in mind the history of communist movement and the history of International. It was our dream to make the name of this magazine as The International. So we planned it 1 year ago and we started our journey from October 2020. And we have a global editorial board. We have editorial board members from more than 25 countries.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I like that you mentioned that you have a global editorial board. Like, how is it different? I know you're the editor-in-chief, but how is it different than, say, a normal magazine like Wall Street Journal? Like, what is it that keeps, what do you do with your editorial board that's very different?
The difference is that the editorial board members are either the communist leader of different communist parties, well-known communist parties of different part of the globe, or these editorial board members are the youth leadership, communist youth leadership of different well-known organizations. Just like me, I am also the national president of All India Students Federation and the youngest central committee member of Communist Party of India. So like me, all other editorial board members, either the leadership of communist parties or the leadership of different youth organizations of the communist parties, and either they are the well-known Marxist-Leninist intellectuals. So they are the part of this editorial board, and with this we are continuing this journey for almost 10 months now, and just a few days ago, on the 15th day of July, we have successfully published the 10th issue of The International.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the articles, but before that, can we talk a little bit about what you do? Like, the Communist Party of India is still the majority party in Bengal?
Actually, Communist Party of India was formed in 1925, 26 December. And after that, I hope you all are aware about that, during 1964, the communist movement in India was divided, and splitting out of Communist Party of India, Marxist was formed. And after that, during 1970, the extreme radical left movement erupted, and some more factions of communist parties were formed after 1970. But CPI and CPIM, these two are the major communist parties, and both are taking part in the parliamentary democracy for continuous last 50 years. And in the province of Kerala, still the Left Democratic Front, led by the CPI and CPIM, they are in power. And also the neighbor state of Kerala, there is Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu also, just few months ago, there was general election. And
we actually, it's kind of funny. My parents are from Bangalore, and we actually had an interview with Karthik, who spoke about the elections in Tamil Nadu a few months ago. So I'll send you the video. So I was asking about Bengal.
So CPI have won 2 seats in Tamil Nadu, and CPM also have won 2 seats. And coming to Bengal, Bengal is my province.
Yes.
And the general election was held at the same time in Bengal. And I was also a candidate of Left Front representing CPI. I got around 32,000 votes. I polled 32,000 votes, but could not win. And actually, surprisingly, this time from Bengal, there is no left representative in the assembly. only. So from independence, for the first time, the result for the left, the result for the communist parties was very poor in Bengal assembly election. So it was a polarized vote between the Trinamool Congress, who runs the government in Bengal, and between the BJP, who rules the central government. So it was a very much polarized vote between TMC and BJP, and the left became the third force. And as you know, the tendency of global electoral politics, that votes are so much polarized between the first force and second force, it becomes very difficult for the third force to snatch good number of seats. So that happened in Bengal this time, and the left was not able to win a single number of seats from Bengal this time.
But it seems like the BJP party also did not win. So what happened?
No, actually TMC have won again. They have formed the government again.
With the coalition,
BJP
right?
won 75. Sorry?
Okay, no. Okay, so the chief minister is Mamata Banerjee with the coalition, right?
Yes, he is the supremo of the Trinamool Congress, and Trinamool Congress have won again by alone. They fought alone. Trinamool Congress fought alone.
Okay, so so it's not a coalition, but the Trinamool Congress itself, it looks like they won 200 and they won a lot.
Yes, around 216 seats they have won out of 294.
How do you feel about this? Like, what are their main policies that they promised?
Actually, some kind of Trinamool Congress, the attitude of Trinamool Congress is also a little bit fascistic, not like BJP, but BJP is absolutely fascist. We can assure you that. But Trinamool's attitude is a little bit fascistic because they don't believe in democracy. During the election, the panchayat election, the rural body election, what we call panchayat. Yeah. So during the rural body election or during the municipalities or corporation elections, they just didn't allow the opposition parties to file nomination. They just didn't allow the opposition parties to campaign for the candidates. So they don't believe in democracy. The thousands of our left cadres were either hospitalized, or some of us were murdered by Trinamool Congress during these rural body elections or municipality elections. So they are not democratic at all. But this time the election was such a way polarized that the voters, they either voted for TMC, who know the actual BJP, actual tendencies and actual ideology of BJP RSS, the dangerous ideology of RSS, who are aware about that. They voted for TMC only to prevent BJP coming into power of Bengal. And the other part, who were extremely tortured by TMC government, those voted for BJP just to dethrone Mamata Banerjee from power. So this way, these votes were polarized between two bad force who don't believe in democracy. One is partially having tendency towards fascism, and the other is absolutely fascist. So the vote was polarized between these two forces, and Mamata Banerjee won the poll.
Interesting. And it looks like what is next for India's communist movement? Like, what are you guys planning on doing for the next few years, I guess?
You want to hear about Bengal or overall India?
Yeah, Bengal.
For that, as you know, that when during 1967, for the first time, the left parties came into the power in Bengal, and after 1977, the left front came into power in Bengal. And the major job that the left parties did in Bengal was land distribution and providing land to all. We told that whoever cultivates, the land belongs to him. Whoever cultivates the land belongs to him. And the left front government distributed land to every farmers, distributed land to whoever cultivates in their land. Left front government distributed land to them. Secondly, they the left front government decentralized the power, and they made this panchayat system. Panchayat system is a three-tier electoral model through which power has been given to the villages. Power has been given in a decentralized way to the villages and to the districts. So this type of activity where democracy, the maximum democracy possible to give to the common people, that was given by the left front government in Bengal. Lands were distributed through land reforms and economic development for the common people, for the farmers, for the jute mill workers. The economic development was really outstanding during the era of left front government. So just we are what we want, and we can surely assure you that the cadre base of the communist parties in Bengal is still very strong. We before this general election, we gave a call of a brigade rally. Brigade is such a ground in Kolkata which can accumulate 1 million people. So almost 1 million people was even gathered in the mass rally organized by the left parties in Kolkata before this general body election also. So we have a cadre strength of almost 1 million still in Bengal. The party members combining CPI and CPIM, we have a party member of more than 3 lakhs, which is 0.3 million. And we can
it's 300,000. 3 lakhs is 300,000.
300,000, yes. The party members are still 300,000 in Bengal. The communist parties have. And the cadre strength and the cadre we are able to gather in Kolkata, the state center, is still about 1 million. So we have that cadre strength, but due to that tendency of polarized electoral politics, this time we could not win any seat, but we are hopeful that if we continue the groundwork and if the people will start to believe that TMC and BJP both are same kind of political force, both have fascistic tendency, both are undemocratic, both only serves the purpose of capitalist. We are very much hopeful that people will understand very soon that these two parties are same kind of political force. Then we are very much hopeful that people will turn for us, people will turn for the left.
I'm hopeful too. Now, let's change gears and talk a little bit about the magazine. What I'm really impressed about is how much you guys, like your editorial team, it has almost people from so many countries, like even Kuwait, which is very amazing. And so how I'm actually looking at some of the articles, and my favorite one so far is, I just became a paid subscriber, is the one about Cuba, because that's been occupying the news a lot. Do you have any thoughts about what's going on in Cuba?
Sorry, pardon?
Do you have any thoughts about what's going on in Cuba right now? Your magazine covered. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. That's why our next monthly issue, the August edition, is totally focused on Cuba. And we have planned that our theme of the August issue will be Solidarity Cuba. And the reputed writers and well-known intellectuals of the Latin America countries and the USA, who are important researchers regarding the socialist model of Cuba, they will write for us in our next edition, and our next issue will totally focus on Cuba only.
Oh, wow.
And you can, if you see the blog section also, we are from the beginning of this anti-revolution activities that is funded by this USA imperialism. So from that first day, we have started to publish article on Cuba in the blog section. And if you follow the Facebook and the social handles of the International, you can see our activities in support of the socialist model of Cuba from the beginning of this disturbance. And also our next monthly issue will also focus on Cuba only.
That's amazing. Yeah. Because I in America, a lot of people think that, I don't want to name the magazine. Janet, should I name the magazine or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, Jacobin is a leftist magazine, but they're not. So I like that you kind of have the same type of long form articles, but you are very leftist. So I was just looking at an article you guys put up February 1st, which is a great article about the introduction of like Modi's farm laws, which is what's going on. So I like how it is very detailed and long form. So can you talk a little bit more about what your vision, like who do you hope to attract as your audience?
Actually, we clearly say that the International is for the communists and the socialists of the world. And if you see the hashtags we use in the magazine or in the website, that hashtags clearly says that we are anti-capitalist, we are anti-imperialist, we are anti-fascist. And we are communist and we are for the socialists. So that's why our intention is to clearly highlight the activities of the communist parties around the world. Our intention is to highlight the activities and the movements of the socialist parties around the world. So that is clear.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, you have articles from literally so many countries. It just is. I was looking at. So now, may I ask you one question? So apparently, my state of Karnataka. I was looking at your article from January, and so in my state of Karnataka. There have been 287. Oh my God, this is so cool. Okay. So about 287 village panchayats or like districts have had the CPI win, right?
Yes, this time after long years in Karnataka, the CPI and CPIM have won a huge number of seats in the rural body election. After long years.
Can you explain why or what did they do differently that helped them win? Wow, they even got big cities like Tumkur and Mangalore. That's pretty impressive.
Right.
So how do they do that?
Actually, if some prominent and young leadership come in forward, then automatically the result starts to alter. This time in Karnataka, we have got some good young student youth leadership and the party leadership also. The party leadership also was very much serious to gain some good momentum through this rural body election. We focused this rural body election at least from 1 year or 2 years before. We focused the rural body elections and we tried to contact each and every individual, each and every downtrodden, poor section of the people, our student youth cadres and our party members. They tried to contact each individuals and they tried to develop personal relationship as much as possible. So it worked and we held huge rallies in support of the farmers of the villages. We arranged huge rallies demanding at least a minimum wage for the workers. The trade union movement under the banner of AITUC, which is the largest trade union, which is controlled by the Communist Party of India. The AITUC organized some good amount of programs demanding that minimum wage should be 18,000 to all, 18,000 Indian rupee to all, and the semi-skilled and the skilled labor. The semi-skilled and skilled labor should get at least 35,000 rupees per month, and even the unskilled labor, they should get at least 18,000 rupees per month. So this kind of movements. So this kind of movements demanding education for all the students that come from the poorer section of the society. So demanding education for all, demanding jobs for all according to their ability, and demanding this minimum wage for everyone who is involved in this daily based wage system. So this kind of demands and continuous struggle and continuous movement worked out, and finally we got good number of votes and won good number of seats.
That's excellent. Like I said, I'm very happy. So is there is there anything else you want to talk about that I haven't mentioned? Did I forget? And let's talk about a quick update about what happened with the farmer protests. And Modi wanted to bring in bill, like what happened to it and what's going on? Did the bill get canceled? What's going on right now?
Actually, this farmers movement, which is going on from the November 2020, undoubtedly, this is one of the largest mass movement from the independence of India. Undoubtedly. Almost 1 million of farmers are continuously sitting at the border of Delhi. At the border of Delhi for past 7-8 months.
Okay, Delhi and Punjab border or Delhi and Haryana?
Actually, these farmers marched from Punjab and Haryana. Okay. This Punjab and Haryana are the neighborhood state of our capital Delhi. So farmers from both Punjab and Haryana, they marched towards Delhi and they blocked the every border road, every border highways of Delhi that connects Delhi with other states. They blocked the entry of Delhi. Yes.
Oh no, this is for Janet. Janet, I'll give you a map to show how hard this is, because Delhi is, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very road heavy city. So this around 1 million farmers, they blocked the each entry of Delhi, and they are continuously sitting there for constant 7-8 months. So initially when they started to march on, demanding complete repeal, complete withdrawal of this farmer codes, complete withdrawal of these farmer codes. When they started to march towards Delhi, this fascist government, this BJP government, they were not ready to even talk to them. Okay, but after the successful mass movement, they were bound, their ministers were bound to sit with the farmers' leader, to talk with the farmer leaders, and they already have told that yes, we are ready to discuss. So this government has already bowed down their head in front of the farmer leaders, and they have already told yes, we can discuss and we can modify these anti-farmer laws, but the farmer leaders has clearly told that not only modification, we want complete withdrawal, and until it is achieved, this movement will go on. Has it been achieved yet?
Sorry?
Has the Modi government withdrawn the bill yet?
Yes, they have already bowed down their head. They were very rigid from the beginning that we are not ready to hear, we are not ready to sit, we can't amend. But now they have agreed, they have told us that we can amend those anti-farmer laws. but the farmers are demanding not any amendment. They are demanding complete withdrawal of these anti-farmer laws.
Okay, but so the government has not yet withdrawn the anti-farmer laws?
No, they have not withdrawn yet.
What is the status of the law now?
What is the status of?
What is going on with the law? Is it sitting there in Parliament? What's going on there?
No. Actually, what this Modi government did during this pandemic situation, it was impossible to place anything in the parliament or discuss anything in the parliament because the parliament session was not possible to organize. So during this pandemic, this Modi government introduced some very aggressive, undemocratic laws and policies, bypassing discussion in the parliament and undermining the federal structure of our country. The new education policy was introduced. The new education policy was introduced, which we call NEP, National Education Policy 2020. The National Education Policy was introduced without any discussion in the parliament.
Wow.
Okay. Then anti-labor codes were introduced.
Wow.
Without any detailed discussion in the parliament. Then these anti-farmer laws were introduced without any discussion in the parliament. This Modi government actually used this pandemic situation.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay, so it was a way they used the pandemic to get away from democracy, essentially.
Absolutely. They undermined the federal structure also. According to the federal structure of our Indian constitution, when this kind of law has to be implemented, they should discuss with the different state governments also.
Yeah.
But they just avoided that, and they just undermined the federal structure of India also.
Oh, wow. That is, I did not know that. That sounds, and I know they've been like doing something weird with the Supreme Court too. So yeah, it seems like having a quasi-fascist government or a fascist government has a impact that's going to last much longer than the government itself.
Actually,
right?
I hope you are aware that this BJP is controlled by RSS.
Yes,
Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. This RSS is absolutely a communal force. Maybe the first communal force, organized communal force, maybe in India, which was also formed in 1925. And from their formation, this RSS did not take part in the national freedom movement.
No, they supported the British. I actually I have a Twitter. Hold on. Let's actually go through my Twitter thread. I'm going to send this to you.
Yes,
so hold on. Just wait 1 second. This is actually very good. I'm glad you brought this up. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So now, okay. So the first one is, let's go down. Okay, Janet, can you read the? Okay, so the was it Savarkar or Govalkar who was the founder? I forgot.
Both were there. Savarkar was also the leader of RSS, and Golwalkar was the president of RSS.
Okay, Golwalkar. Okay, okay, Janet, can you click? Okay, so it was Golwalkar who viewed the Quit India movement as anti-British nationalism. Okay, let's go down to the next one. When RSS leaders met with the British Home Secretary, they promised to have Sanghis join the British police force to keep law and order.
Right.
Can you hit more show replies, Janet? This thread is pretty big. Okay. In 1942, the British praised the RSS on how scrupulously it stayed within the law and did not participate in the Quit India movement. So the screenshot I have is the Bombay government noted in a memo, the Sangh has scrupulously kept itself within the law and in particular has refrained from taking part of the disturbances that broke out in August 1942. Okay, go down. The Hindu Mahasabha, which was this is what they said. Can you click on that, Janet? Thus, Hindustan and Britain are allied together in the unshakable bond for the union for long years to come. This was in 1942, by the way. Okay, let's go down. Prasad Mukherjee wrote a letter to Prasad Mukherjee was also a member of the early ones. And he talked about how to combat the Quit India movement. Janet, we can close this screen. Okay. Okay, but yeah, do tell us about. I just wanted to give them an introduction, but yeah, they were. I also. Are you familiar with how a lot of the RSS members were Sindhi zamindars?
Not like that. It will be a simplification of what RSS is. If you tell that, actually they are a communal Hindu. They are communal force which want to establish.
They're very discriminatory against lower castes, right?
Not only against the lower caste, they used to attack the lower caste. Then, firstly, they used to attack the minority section of India. They want to establish India as a Hindu nation. That was their main agenda. If you see the speech, if you see the writings of Golwalkar or Hedgewar or Savarkar, if you see the ideology and the articles of these RSS leaders, then you will find that their main aim was to establish India as a Hindu nation. So they have always created communal riots in India before independence and also after independence. I think you are aware about that 1946 riot.
Yeah.
The great communal riot of 1946, 1 year before the independence of India.
Yep.
The thousands of people were slaughtered during that massive Hindu-Muslim riot. So this riot was created by this RSS Hindu Mahasabha, and at the call of Muslim League on 16th August 1946, Muslim League gave a call of direct action day. And this RSS Hindu Mahasabha utilized this political call of direct action day. And because of this conspiracy and plan of Hindu Mahasabha and RSS, this massive riot erupted in 1946. And after independence also, when the Indian flag was adopted and Indian constitution was unanimously adopted, then these RSS leaders, they used to burn the Indian tricolor national flag and they used to burn Indian constitution openly.
Wow.
Why did they burn Indian constitution? Because they told that why in the constitution, why in the preamble of the constitution, it is mentioned that India is a secular,
socialist
why
nation?
this word secular is mentioned in the constitution. They told that it has to be Hindu nation. India has to be Hindu nation. So because of this inclusion of this secular word, this RSS burnt Indian constitution openly.
My God.
They used to burn Indian tricolor flag openly. So this was RSS, and even I told about this incidents of 1946, and even after 1947, after independence, all the communal riots that happened in India, either RSS or Hindu Mahasabha or BJP was the behind of this riot.
Yep.
Undoubtedly. So they didn't even fight for the Indian freedom struggle. Never. You will not find a single name of RSS Hindu Mahasabha leader in the Indian freedom struggle.
Nope. They were very happy with the British.
They were very happy with the British, And you can check out the writings of Golwalkar also, the RSS chief Golwalkar also. So they were undoubtedly very happy with the British. Their only aim was to establish India as a Hindu nation. Their only aim in today also to create more and more communal violence. They want to attack the minority section of India, and not only the minority section or not only the minority religion people. They attacked on Hindu people also. Just as you mentioned, the lower caste Hindu people. So they just want to divide our country. They want the Muslim and other minority on the basis of religion. So they want to divide our country on the basis of religion. They want to divide our country on the basis of caste. So they are a dangerous fascist force in our country, undoubtedly.
I agree. Unfortunately, Silicon Valley, I mean, they have so much like foreign funding. And I just heard recently that Modi had been spying on Rahul Gandhi with Pegasus. Do you know anything about it?
They can do anything. They can do anything.
Very interesting.
They are trying to taking control on the judiciary system.
Yep.
So you can understand their approach. So they can do anything.
That makes a lot of sense. Is there anything else you want to say before we end this interview? And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Esha.
Please go and subscribe to their magazine. They're very good anti-imperialists. And that's all I have to say.
As you can understand that we do not take any kind of corporate funding. Yeah. So we only depend on the subscription of the left and socialist and the communist people from around the globe. So as we depend we only depend on the subscription of the ideologically left inclined people. So that's why I would love, on behalf of the editorial team of the International, to all the people who are hearing me and you from the last half an hour or so, to please subscribe to our magazine, and after reading it, please give your valuable feedback to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Esha.